You guys are watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. It's a mailbag. We've been going to Super Thanks on demand, Super Chat version, basically. Steve says, for everyone who wants Belichick as head coach or DC, no. Living in New England, spending my whole life in Patriots country, this would be a huge mistake. The game has passed him by. I don't want him near the facility, and especially in any GM or team building capacity. I get the concerns here. Now, I have no interest at all, or no problem at all, hiring Bill Belichick as my defensive coordinator. I think it's a great idea. I don't see why Bill would choose to do that. And I think the reason why Bill Belichick is not a head coach at this stage is because he wanted too much control. He wanted too much power. And that's not something I think is going to work for this organization, for the way this team is currently constructed. I would be pretty shocked if they went down that path. GM, hell no. If he wants to come be my head coach and give up some creative control, sure. But he's not going to make my picks. He has not done a good job of drafting overall. So on that note, do you want Bill Belichick as the Cowboys head coach in 2025? Type in Y for yes or N for no. Ecuador Man AOG, I love McCormick from the Jackrabbits, left guard or right guard. That's Mason McCormick. I have not watched him yet. I don't even know how much South Dakota State film I'm going to end up getting there in the end. I believe he was a mostly left guard player at South Dakota State, but in theory, you would be able to play both. So maybe a good sleeper name there, my friend. Chris B, I'm okay extending Dak if they actually use money in free agency. Would be dumb having to extend and not spend, need more players, or results won't change. I agree. If you're going to roll into this year with the nearly $60 million cap charge for Dak Prescott, what are you doing? You're an unserious organization if you chose to do that. That does not make sense to me. Now, if you want to spend some money, let's do it. It's a great path. Go try to win now, and then take the dead cap hit later on when you don't have a franchise QB and you're rebuilding. Do one of those two things. Don't just sit there and not do anything. I think that's a bad idea. Them boys 88. Let's make it happen. Sign King Henry in free agency and go after Trey Benson in the draft. My concern there is I think you would have to hire or make a Trey Benson pick in the second round. And I don't know if you want to commit that level of investment into your running back room. Maybe one of them, and the other's a cheaper draft pick or cheaper free agency signing, but you do help your running back room significantly there. Also got to fix your offensive line and run scheme. I think you've got the free agent, good name, back out of Florida State. I think the number one back this year, but I don't know if you need both of them necessarily. From Jerry. Which one? What's your last name there, Jerry? Would you rather sign Jacobs, Barkley, or Henry? I think my answer is whichever one is cheapest. Different play styles across the board. I would wonder if maybe Derrick Henry is the cheapest, given his age and the fact that Jacobs and Barkley haven't gotten their big contracts yet. Henry Lee's got one already. But if you can get one of them on a fair price, I have interest. Just fix your offensive line and run scheme as well. So pick a running back. JJ for Josh Jacobs, SB for Saquon Barkley, or DH for Derrick Henry. Chris B, Eric Scott to Washington for a 5th-round pick. Stupid trade last year. Maybe they say yes. Eric Scott, I guess, was a redshirt year, didn't play. It's also why I don't love when you let your defensive coordinator have so much influence in picks. It leads to some good results, make no mistake. It's good for your organizational building, but look, Dan Quinn knows football. He missed on plenty of picks too. He did. Eric Scott and Deshaun Wright stand out to me. They were over on their cornerback picks. Kelvin Joseph was a miss. We'll see if Eric Scott develops. It's only been 1 year. Can they? How about Deshaun Wright and Eric Scott go to the Commanders? Give me some picks, Dan. Help me out. The Lunatic. Who will determine how all in we are going this year? Jariah or Steven? Steven Jones. Jerry would like to be more aggressive, but Jerry has given up power and will listen to his supporting cast of Steven and even Will McClay involved there. So the real determination is made by Steven Jones. And in the end, that might not be a great thing for your organization. Today's show is made possible by a great thing. It is Game Time. If you are going to Vegas for the big game on Sunday, you know what game I'm talking about, right? We all know? Cool. Use promo code VEGAS100 for $100 off a big game ticket. Now, that is available for all users. It's not just new users. Anyone who has had Game Time or has bought tickets before, you are eligible for that $100 off deal. So if you're going to buy tickets, you got to use Game Time. It doesn't make sense to use anything else because you're just wasting $100. You could bet it all on black in Vegas instead, which is always a good idea. Promo code VEGAS100 gets $100 off only for the big game. Now, if you're not going, you can also get $20 off whatever it is, whether it's Mavs game, Stars game, concerts, or whatever local sporting events you have that aren't football related with promo code Cowboys Chat. That is $20 off. Game Time is the place for tickets, so make sure you're using it for whatever big event you're going to. Again, download the Game Time app. If you're going to the big game, use promo code VEGAS100, VEGAS 100, or if you're just going to buy tickets to a concert or something, use promo code Cowboys Chat, COWBOYSCHAT, to get $20 off. Link and both promo codes will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. TKG, who do you have winning the Super Bowl? Niners are the better team. Chiefs are the better quarterback, and they've played better in the playoffs too. So I guess I'll go Chiefs, but I'm not confident in that pick. Chris B, can we flip Jerry and Steven's age? Bad to say, but I mean, I think we can go super like, I don't know what the proper terminology here is. Not, you can go super like stereotypical and discuss like the general impacts of how second generation wealth handles when they take over the business from their dad who built it. Like, you're kind of seeing some of those things with Steven in charge. I don't think it's going to get any better, and that's a very concerning thing. Pray to God I am wrong. From not Jeremy Chugs' burner account, maybe a dumb question, but if the goal was miserable every year, why aren't we all in every year? Let's get Chris Jones, not Chris Jones at home. It's funny. I do appreciate that one. Because they don't want to be overly, like they said the Eagles were all in last year, and they weren't. They weren't at all. Like all in, they think that like giving away a future pick is going all in if it's a premium pick. It's not how it works. Like they want to be where they've been entering the playoffs each year. 10, 11, whatever wins, maybe host a playoff game, maybe not, having a chance at it. They want to be that every single year because come week 18, the tickets are still sold out at home. They're in the playoff mix. We're still talking about them. And they think this year we'll get lucky and make that run. They would rather have, the 10% chance each year than 2 or 3 years of a 20% chance and a 5% chance 1 year later. I disagree with that philosophy all the way through. From Tony, are Jayron Kearse and Dante Fowler Commanders? Probably. I think Dante Fowler is for sure gone. I mean, the Commanders have nothing at pass rusher. Dante Fowler to Washington is a lock. I would be shocked if he didn't go there. Kearse, maybe. Kearse was not good this year, so maybe Dan Quinn will eventually realize that, or maybe his GM will, Adam Peters, because Kearse was not playing great. But I would not be shocked if a few defensive players jumped ship and went to Washington. Be very on brand since the Commanders love hiring former Cowboys coaches and players. So which free agent who is on the Cowboys right now do you not want to re-sign? Drop a name for me in the comment section right now. Chris B, give me DJ Reader and Levante David in free agency. I'll be happy. I'm not asking for much. I'm old enough to remember, I think Chris was part of this conversation too, when many of us wanted DJ Reader the first time, when the Bengals signed him. Been a great fit. He was part of the initial Fatties Only campaign. I would love Levante David too. Decent chance both those guys re-sign. If not, yeah, I would love to go after them. Two good names there, Chris. William Cook, extend Dak, pay CeeDee, sign a linebacker, and a cheap running back. You can do all of those things and still have plenty of cap space available. I am on board with those ideas. As long as the linebacker is not Devin White, I'm in. I think you've made a pretty simple and smart plan with more moves that can be made as well. From Marcus, hire Sean Lee when? Maybe you saw the post of, I think what happened was Dak Prescott obviously was it was his baby moon with his baby mama. I think they're up in Aspen, and Sean Lee's there. I think what happened was it was just a happy accident that Sean Lee took his trip at the same time Dak Prescott, because if you saw the photo, Sean Lee and whoever had included coming off these slopes. Like, they were in like the full gear and everything, and Dak was in cowboy boots. Like, I think what happened was Sean Lee came off the slopes. Dak saw him, as they were like at dinner or something, and they went to take the photograph, which is hilarious. And by the way, it's the first time I've seen Sean Lee alive in like 3 years. Haven't seen him. Haven't seen a single social media post. Glad he's doing okay. Looks like he's in great shape. I would hire him right this second. Maybe what happened here is Sean Lee doesn't want to deal with the extra stuff that comes of being involved in the Cowboys coaching staff / organization. There's a lot going on there. Now, we will have more Cowboys news for you right here on the channel, so do not miss out. Hit that sub button right now, youtube.com/CowboysTV. Ecuador man, why should we trust the Cowboys to pick a defensive tackle? Maybe you don't let your coaches do it? I know what Will McClay has said publicly. Tristan Hill was a Rod Marinelli pick. All right? We know that. Or Taco Charlton was the Rod Marinelli pick. But, they've made bad decisions before. Maybe they're just due for a good defensive tackle pick. I think Osa was fine. Hill was a disaster class. Mozzie was bad in year one. If you draft a big nose guard, don't have him drop under 300 pounds. A thought. From Nasty23, fill team needs in free agency, draft best available. Exactly. Go address your needs to where you can take the best player regardless of position. That's a very easy thing to say. It's not that hard to do, as long as you're not signing Ronald Jones and saying, we're good at running back. That's not how it works. You're right. Maybe a bit easier said than done, but this is the way. A lot of questions I know we did not get to. Blame producer Chris. My DMs are open on Twitter /X. DM me at WhatGoingDowney, whatever Cowboys questions you guys may have.